Hello everybody, Marielle here. I just would like to update everybody on my situation, which has evolved tremendously actually, much more than I am able to um, organize in my head and organize my thoughts and I know, how to deliver all of those informations out here. Um, which I will eventually get to because there is a lot. There is a lot I've discovered over the last few weeks because under the circumstances, I had to learn to snoop. I had to learn to go and start digging, and I did. And you know what they say, when you go looking, you find stuff. So I have discovered an awful lot of things and very unpleasant things, actually. Yeah, very unpleasant, very extremely surprising, um, you know, mind blowing stuff to me anyway. And but for today, I just would like to give a quick update in what I think is I could call the War of the Roses, because there is, well, I'm not so sure whether that's the right term to use, but for my understanding, for the way I for the way things are going, I would prefer to refer to that term as the War of the Roses. Not quite like, although it's completely the opposite of what went on between Michael Douglas and I forget her name at the moment. So my situation it's completely different, but still it's still a war. But the roses, because in my situation there is no fight, there is no screaming, there is none of that going on at all. I mean, nothing like that. And partly because I've completely removed myself from his presence, and his game. I've just gone grey, the ultimate grey rock kind of thing. And in retaliation, I think he's flexing his muscles, financially. And yeah. But today is the Wednesday, the 16th of November, well, 2016. And last night, he just didn't come home. He just didn't come home at all. Um, these days, I mean, it's been well over a month. I would say almost 2 months that I haven't seen him. Although we live in the same place, and he went away for well over 3 weeks. Remember, for anybody that watched my last video, I did mention that he left his green card, and on purposefully I did not send him his green. I didn't mail him his green card on time, just to afford me some peace of mind and quiet, so that he would stay there a bit longer. So he was away for just over 3 weeks, and so yeah, it's been about a month and a half to 2 months, kind of, that he hasn't seen me and I haven't seen him. Although we live in the same place, but it's a case of when I am reclusive. I stay in my bedroom when I know it's time for him to come home. I stay in my bedroom, and the weekend, which usually are Saturdays and Sundays, while I stay in my bedroom, I just don't go out at all. Don't laugh, actually, what I do. I do go out. What I do, I actually crawl out of my bedroom from the window and I go for my walks, because I enjoy walking a lot, and also staying for that amount of time. Cooped up inside my bedroom can be a bit. I'm skinny, and I need to walk a bit. And so I crawl out of my bedroom and I go out. And also I have decided to um to you know to open up to my neighbors, to my two neighbors, and the woman, and tell them what's been happening. And they've been, I'm really, really glad I did that. Although I know, you never know in those situations. You have to be careful. But I've opened up enough, told them enough, and they've been very, very, very kind to me. They've been, it's been a relief, to find that comfort, you know, physically here within my space. And I can only hope that, it's been a good decision to open up. And mind you, both of my neighbors, they've had similar situations as well. So they kind of understand a little bit of what I'm going through. So it's not completely out of the blue for them, or completely, the subject itself, it's not completely foreign to them, if you understand what I'm saying. So it's been very helpful to me. So what's been happening, it's me crawling out of my bedroom from my window, and then going on those walks, late at night with my neighbors, they're female, and just going on a little stroll in the neighborhood, and yeah, to kind of to break my long, hard, isolating weekends. And so that's why I haven't seen my husband, my wolf, for such a long period of time. And usually what happens is that I'm able, obviously, because he has a bike, he has a motorbike, and he makes a noise, and because of those noises I'm usually able to know when he leaves in the morning, so I'm able to exit the bedroom and start the day, and also when he comes home at night I'm able to hear him as well, when he comes home, because the bikes makes a noise. And also there are noises, that he makes, like flushing the toilet, or using the how do you call that, the shower, and all of those kind of things. So it's not difficult for me to attune myself to those noises, because usually when you raise kids, well, when I raised kids, when I was raising my kids when they were small, I had to do the same thing, I tuned myself to the noises that they were making. So even if I was on the other side of the house, I always knew, whether they were awake, whether they were playing instead of doing their homework, whether, they were carrying on the tasks that, sometimes I will ask them to do. All of that I was always aware because of the noises they were making. So here I am now using that same kind of instinctive strategy, if you want, again with a fully grown adult. And suddenly last night there was just nothing. The entire night there was absolutely nothing. And then this morning, again, nothing. But because I didn't want, to be caught, coming out of my bedroom to see whether I was still home or anything, so I crawled out of my bedroom and I went around the garage and everything, and, to take a look. And fair enough, the bike wasn't there. And then I went inside the house, and fair enough, the bed was undone. It just decided he wasn't going to come home. Now, the thing is, part of what I'm thinking, no, I don't believe there is anything that something has happened to him, because if something had happened to him, by now I would have known. And his secretary or somebody he works with would have called by now. And also, my daughter I know they, I know they are communicating, and I know he didn't come home, and probably she even knows where he is. And if something had happened to him, I'm pretty sure she'll raise the alarm. She would have said something. So I'm not worried. But I am thinking that he does that to force me to engage, as well as checking my level of feelings, maybe, for him. I mean, it's like everything that he does, it's always multi-layered, because you see, by doing that, it helps him to check whether I care. If I was to confront him, that would please him tremendously, because he'll mean that he still has some kind of power over me, and it'll please him to know that, I worry about him or something like that. He'll get a kick out of that. And if, like I'm doing now, I don't check on him, or I don't say anything, or I don't make a noise, or I don't acknowledge in any way, shape, or form the fact that he has not come home, I know for sure it will signal a new departure in his behavior. It will give him the green light to start doing this. And he will use that much later on. Eventually this will, eventually at some point I will have to address this. I mean, he'll be pushing manufacturer situation until I broach that subject. And I'm sure he'll tell me, well, it's, you are not talking to me, you are not responding to me, you are hiding away, or you act all different and everything. What was I supposed to do? And you didn't care about me. So whichever way I approach this situation, it's the same as usual. I just won't win. He'll twist it and to his advantage to make me look bad. So for me, yes, playing the victim, at the end of the day, playing the victim, it's one of his he loves playing the victim. This is something that he absolutely enjoys doing. He never, he's never quite aggressive as he doesn't like to come at me, straight on. And playing the victim has always been, one of his biggest tools, with me. And so we'll see. So for me, really, the real thing here for me is to decide. It's to decide and choose what I am willing to put up with. Which one of those outcome I am okay with, because no matter what I do, he's gonna put me behind what do you say that? A rock and a wall. So in that situation, I have to choose which position is more comfortable. So I'm okay with him trying to pin that on me. I don't care. Is it okay for him then, therefore, to think that it's okay for him not to disappear and not slip away from home? Quite frankly, I don't care. So the way I see it, the less time he spend home, the more time for me, the more peaceful it is for me, and I know, and I don't have to stay and in my bedroom like a sulky teenager. So I'm okay with that, and I totally don't. I just don't care really. And also, mind you, since last month, he has already cut the funds in our joining account. Last month, hardly any money went into our joint account. So yeah, so he's flexing his muscles, he's trying, I think, to force me to engage him, to draw me out, but I'm not gonna react. And I what am I going to say? What am I going to do? It's not going to change anything. It's all a game. It's all a big fancy thing that he just wants me to react. He wants a reaction out of me and to feed off of. And I'm not going to let that happen. So he can do whatever he wants. I'm just going to try my best and not give him that satisfaction. But I must admit, it's extremely hard because sometimes when I think about things, I certainly do want to confront him. I certainly want to, to have a talk with him. I really do. But it's no point. It's just me entering the game, and I just want to. I rather just concentrate on myself for now. So here we are. So I just wanted to update everybody. And yes, I do have a lot of things to say. I just have to figure out which subject, what story of what it is that I happen to put it in a short context that I can actually put on the video. And also it can be hard sometimes for me to find the right word, the right expressions. But yeah, thanks for listening.